My name is Tumi Esther. I'm a fashion and commercial model, a brand influencer.
Hi, my name is Kayode Tony and I'm a strategic manager for Superfit Fashions and I'm actually a brand manager as well.
Hello, my name is Winfrey Okolo. I'm a presenter at Silver Television. I'm a lawyer by profession, now training.
My name is Wale Badmos and I'm a DJ and a producer by profession and I'm a sociologist also.
So I'd like to know if you guys are in or out.
Well, for me, I'm definitely in.
Okay.
Definitely. Because, okay.
I'm into.
Okay.
So are you trying to say you're in support of sex
Yes.
before marriage? Oh wow, that's interesting because I wasn't even expecting any female to be in support of sex before marriage.
Okay.
Because you understand like this current 21st century where we are right now, people actually shy about sex a lot and nobody likes to talk about it, What do you think?
I won't agree with you. 21st century. Hello.
Well, basically for me, if I'm going swimming, I have to test the water, you understand? So basically, if I'm going into a relationship or marriage with somebody, I have to test that water, maybe with a fruit or something, you understand? So before I'll test the water, then I'll dive in and decide if yes, so this is what I want to spend the rest of my life with, because that's what marriage is.
Marriage is sex.
Not really, but
Yes, marriage is sex.
What?
Definitely.
Okay.
That's what I
Marriage is
think.
sex, one. Marriage is sex, two. Is marriage sex?
No.
Okay, great. Why?
Marriage is about love and partnership to me. But I still feel sex before marriage is not really. It's important because how do I put it? It's not about testing the waters. I don't agree with you on that, but I feel it's a mutual understanding between the two parties. If we're good about it, sure we can. If we're not, but there's no big deal about it. It's not about testing the waters because you may test the water and leave the girl.
So if you're in a relationship and your partner is good with it, you're fine. But if it's not,
And I'm good
you're
with it,
fine.
then it's good.
So are you good with it?
Yes, I am.
Why? No, I would actually like to know why.
Well, because I don't know.
Is it no? I'm not trying to attract you or anything. I'm just saying why. Like, okay, fine. Like, is it because you think it's a normal thing? I mean, I'm dating somebody, I'm seeing a person.
No, I don't feel it's a normal thing. It's a connection. Sex is a connection between two people. So I feel that connection, you feel that connection, and what if one day leads to sex?
Okay, so it probably aids. Some people believe that it aids the relationship and aids communication and things like that.
sex is spiritual for me, you understand? So when you are you're sync in the same spirit with one person,
Yeah.
when you are in sync with that person and you guys do it, it's as if the whole world is just revolving around you.
Okay.
You understand? So that will determine whether you want to continue hitting it or you want to stop hitting it. But so I don't know. I just feel like
How many relationships have you been in? Just asking.
none. I'm a virgin. But I feel like it's
So how can you tell that sex is a connection?
because I'm feeling pain right now that I have not tested the
So
water.
what do you think about it?
I totally. Okay, you know what? Let me start from here, right? I would say globally, I think it's something that, talking about westernization, just something that is, we watch a lot of American movies, we see that, okay, this thing is actually a normal thing, right? Once you're of age, probably 18 in some countries and 16 in some countries, there's nothing wrong with it. Once you're in a relationship with somebody, it's seen as normal, right? Bringing it back home here, talking about Nigeria, locally, even Africa generally, but let me focus on Nigeria because we're in Nigeria, right? It's something that, there's certain things that growing up was fun and interesting, and at the same time, we hide to do them. Because even religious, when we talk about Muslims or Christians, we all have, when we think that way, we all have a way things should be done, right? So talking about Nigerians, growing up in a family like my own, my mother, you're not mad. There's nothing that wants to run into your head, do you understand? So I would say and I think for so many homes, that is how it was. And I know now these days that sometimes it's like okay, fine, that family thing is more lenient to the girl, to the male, because okay, fine, guys doing stuff is normal, but girls are more protected. But also okay, fine, bringing it to Nigeria, it's not acceptable. It didn't used to be like acceptable, but with the advent of social media and a lot of other things, we're accepting a whole lot of things, and a whole lot of things are being more normal now. Okay, let me talk about religion, right? As a Christian, growing up is something that we were told not to do because of so many reasons. As a Christian growing up, I had Muslim friends, and of course, definitely, I think for them it's even stricter than us. And we know in Nigeria, those are apart from even traditionalists. So even going back to the village, do you understand? Traditional people that do traditional stuff also, it must not be heard. If a virgin, if it's known that a lady loses her virginity, something from sacrifice like will actually have to happen. So I'll say Nigeria, it's a no. Globally, yes, Nigeria, no. Then me personally, it's a no. I will say I take myself very seriously. Okay? So he said it's like testing the waters. And that's why I asked him, okay, how many people will you not test waters? He also agreed to the fact that it's spiritual, it creates a connection. I'm like, see, the kind of person I am, I've read a number of books, not so much. I've read that sex is spiritual, sex creates a connection. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. And I also noticed that I've also read about how people that are married for a long time tend to look alike after a period.
Like when they're getting really old.
When they're getting really old, but that's what you think. But also think about the family setting. Parents, of course, if you live with somebody for a long time, you eat the same thing the person eats, you sleep on the same bed, you wake up, you breathe the same air, like that. And also, sex also is literally a transportation of fluids. Physical fluids. And whether or not you like it, you're sleeping with somebody, even if you use condom, sometimes it can burst, sometimes it might not be big enough. Do you understand? There are things like that. So I also believe that so talking about health-wise, so fluids can also go in, okay, fine. Why would I want to, okay, fine, I want to date somebody now, I'll now sleep with you, then I'll now break up with you, I'll now do that person, I'll now sleep with you, I'll now
But you know what, I think once you're actually trying to be in a relationship with somebody, actually in a serious relationship, you need to really know what you're getting into. You never can tell. That person cannot even be pregnant for you.
Very true. But then again, sex doesn't tell that. We have medicine for that.
Who has time to go to the hospital?
Aside from
I want to marry you. I will not go to hospital.
Aside from hospital, some of us like it old-fashioned. You understand?
Of course.
The old-fashioned way. Like in my village, the woman has to be carrying before anything can happen. And you said because you said traditional. So I'm taking you down now to our tradition.
Yes, true. But then again, you said anything can happen. But then again, once the woman gets pregnant, it is almost compulsory for you to marry her, right? But in this day, what do we see now? How many baby mamas do we have? Now it's a cool thing to be a baby mama.
But they're happy. They're happily
baby
mamas. Happy baby mamas.
No, they're not happy. I wouldn't say they're happy.
They're happy.
Okay, so also buttressing my point, I think health-wise, I won't say, and when I try to make my decisions based on certain things, I try to read about certain things and decide for myself, okay, this is something I want to do or something I don't want to do, right?
Yeah.
So I would say health-wise, which is safer, sex before marriage or sex after marriage? Sex after marriage for me.
So what if you get married at age 50?
At 50?
Yeah.
I don't plan to get married at 50.
I'm just saying.
So I plan to not marry.
Because 90% of guys now.
Because same health-wise, you're also advised to have sex.
Yeah.
Also, same health-wise, you're also advised not to have sex till a particular age.
Which
Which is 18.
No, that's legally. No, health-wise.
Okay.
In your 20s, actually.
Okay.
No problem.
Not 20, in your 20s.
Well, okay. But no, I don't agree with you, especially part about religion. When you brought about religion being a yardstick for discipline against sex, I see religion as, in that aspect, it's just a law, like a guide that makes people not do something. Because,
and
that's just it. They are trying to put God in the mix now.
Okay,
so now when you do it now, you feel as if you are sinning against God. Because God created sex for us.
So, but
where Adam and Eve married.
Where did the scripture come from? Where did the Lord don't have sex in the Bible.
No, he's not a pastor, but he knows the Bible.
No, that's true. Now, me too. I know the Bible. So let's see how you know it.
He doesn't know the verses.
Wait,
He doesn't know the
yeah,
chapter.
I don't know the
verses,
exact
I'm just
chapter, I don't know, but look at Adam and Eve. Were they married?
Technically.
Literally, exactly. Thank you. Technically, they were, because before God created Eve, He said, "It is not good for man to be alone. Therefore, I will create him and help me."
And that's why we don't want to be alone, because there was no legal contract binding them together. So we don't need any legal contract to bind us together before
But
we
having sex does not mean like you are.
Are you for us? I don't know. Yeah.
I am for you guys. I am for you guys, but there are things
Yeah,
I will
like
still
jumping
not
from
accept.
the-
No, I am for you guys. But
you
there
are
are
for us,
things.
you have to stay for us. So, this
There's a
is.
reason for everything.
No, I am for you guys. Yes. But then there are things you're saying that I will still not accept.
Like what? Like what? Exactly.
We were being realistic about the whole thing.
I tell you, my brother. I
Because,
tell you, my brother.
because this stage, this society.
Because
where-
you're getting it the wrong way. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You're getting it the wrong way. Yes, I agree that you can have sex before marriage if you want to. It's not. It depends on your morals. If forget church, forget religion. I can go to church. There are people that go to church Monday night and they are something else. But then, if to me, I decide that okay, if I want to have sex with this person because I want to, I would do it. It's not because of religion, not because of God or anything. But you are saying a different thing entirely, especially when you're saying Adam and Eve and stuff like that. Even in weddings, they use that scripture you just quoted
That's my
to
point.
join two people
to
together.
tell you that that's God that created the concept of marriage.
So don't even go there.
God created
Let's agree
sex
to
too. Because what did happen?
Yes, and okay, so that's also my next point. God created sex.
Yes.
Right? Why did He create it? Why do you think He created it?
For reproduction.
Okay.
Okay.
So would you have sex now? I want to reproduce right now.
On the stage.
Give you girl now. They say okay, have sex with them.
On the stage.
No, nothing.
I'm thinking about it. Seriously thinking about it. I won't say no to that. No.
And also, that's something that also had helped my opinion while growing up, because I'm like, see, okay, why put myself in a position where I'm not ready to be responsible for the consequences of my action?
Yeah, that's why there's abortion. You know.
What?
It's not legal in this part of the world. Just saying.
Yeah, it's not legal. But
I think
mean,
about it.
that's
Just
what-
imagine.
No,
yourself.
I would have to counter you.
You know,
No, that is abortion now is seen
No.
as murder.
Okay, using protection is just the best way if you're not ready for the
But
consequences.
even the people that create protection tell you that abstinence is the 100% guarantee. There's no 100% guarantee.
Okay, if you're in love with somebody, extremely in love, you know that.
There's love and there's extreme.
Okay,
Yes,
and then
extreme.
you know that okay, the possibility of this leading to marriage is 70, 80%. That's what I.
Okay, but basically now we can actually just say there are so many advantages to having premarital sex to marital sex, right? Because once you have premarital sex, right, you learn to know your scale of preferences. You learn to know
Look, I agree with him.
the person is sexually active,
Okay.
if the person likes to 69,
Uh-huh.
if the person likes to do the do. so that's what I think. Actually, I think and that's actually a great plus to one of the advantages. And actually, when you have premarital sex, it actually makes you even know what your partner likes the more. Once you get married to somebody, you even find it very, very hard to know what the person even wants. So once you actually learn to experiment each other in the process of love making, you are able to understand that that person is your partner.
Okay, so my comment to that is the fact that nobody says talking about sex before marriage is wrong, and I can do all of that by speaking about it. One, and also when we speak about it now, it creates that illusion in my head. The way I see it, I like to eat after I finish working. You understand? So I sit down with you, I have a conversation with you. I like this. Oh, I like this. Oh, I don't know what this feels like, but I think I'd like to try it out. It creates a whole waiting process, and then when we get there, we do it. I believe that the satisfaction at that point is on a totally different level. Because okay, fine. Before marriage, you experiment everything. when we reach there, what are we doing?
No, what if, okay,
Just ask.
I just want to answer you
I'm
now.
asking ready.
What if,
That's why.
what if you get married now
Yeah.
and you actually don't enjoy the sex with your partner?
Counseling. I believe there are people. I believe things happen where before, even in relationships, we don't even have to go as far as marriage. People have sex right there in the relationship, and after a while, people lose interest. Doesn't it happen? Doesn't happen to anybody here. It does.
That's what happened to me.
Doesn't happen to you. How long?
I'm still in my relationship till now. I'm
How
dating
long?
since 15 years ago.
Mhm.
We're still together.
Wow.
We're still together, strong.
You say 50 or 15?
15.
Just to be sure.
Tough.
No, I'm saying it's good, like, fine, okay, but it happens to people, right? Where,
Yeah.
fine, you're actually having sex and everything, it gets to a point. But I believe that's what counseling is for. And that's, this part of the world, I'm not exposed to that, where people actually sit down. You know, the sex conversation is very low. We don't want to talk about it. But it actually helps, and that's what these things are for, in my opinion.
So, quick question: are you a virgin?
No, I'm not.
So why did you know? Keep it
So
simple.
that's the thing now. So, like, we all plan to, right? But things happen. And then again, all this knowledge, it's possible I didn't have it then, when it happened.
Okay.
And then I got and grew and got to the
It's
point
because
where
you've
I'm
had it. That's why you know about it this much now.
No, not
If
at
you
all.
haven't, you won't have knowledge of what it's all about. You might just hear and hear them say, but there's nothing like experience
As
when
long as
you've
it-
done it. That's why it has taught you. Like I said, the experience is the
Oh,
best
yeah,
teacher.
but you know, you say you've not had it before, so how do you know?
Uh-huh.
Good question. Oh, yeah. Wow.
I didn't get your question.
I didn't get your
Maybe
question.
rephrase it.
I get for you. Okay, so I'm basically for no sex before marriage, and I mean, we made a lot of valid points. I mean, the other guys on the other team. Wale spoke about testing the waters, which I totally do not agree with. I mean, it makes sense to a lot of people, and yeah, maybe sometimes, but at the same time, I believe there's counseling for all of that. There are medical checks you can do to check whatever you want. You can have conversations while you're dating, which actually even creates anticipation for that time. And when you get married, you can now experiment. That's what I believe. And I just feel most people just lose interest before they get to that point. That's why sometimes people cheat and all of that, because okay, fine, after having sex for such a long time, you see nothing wrong with having sex with other people. Anyways, the gorgeous Esther made a point. She was a bit here and there, but yeah, she also made really valid points too. And Tony the Malian, okay, also made great points. Spoke about the advantages of having sex, knowing your partner's preferences and things like that. I will say the advantages of not having sex before marriage is the fact that because sex creates a connection, right? And even when somebody has a trait or personality you probably will want to distance yourself from most times, because you have that connection and that sentimental bond with the person, you can't make a decision. But if you actually say no to sex at that point, you can get to know more about the person. I know how many relationships I've dodged because of no sex before marriage, and that's just to tell you, I mean, if you really want it that bad, like want me that bad, why can't you just wait till that point? So, and if you're not in a relationship for the long haul, what's the point of wasting my time? On that note, I'll say I had a lovely time.
I said it before, I'm a Malian. You understand? If you want to actually have sex before marriage, I think it's actually very, very advisable. You know, based on one or two polo, you need to actually test what you're actually going for. You know, if you want to go to the market, you need to give it testing. If you want to buy something in the market, you need to test it. So guys, if you find someone you like and it leads to sex, why not? Thank you so much.
Hi. So, in my opinion, if you want to have sex before marriage, go for it. If you don't want to, go for it. But I still don't agree with Wale and Tony saying they want to test the waters. Please, how many girls will you test before you marry? But in the same vein, if to you having sex before marriage is not a big deal, and you have a connection with that person, and you want to do it, then my dear, do it. Because there are some girls that will keep it, and the guy will still leave them at the end of the marriage. So why not? Let's not kill ourselves, you know? So if you want to have sex before marriage, if you don't want to, God be with you.
Well, like I said before, sex before marriage is actually a good idea. But there are some discrepancies we have to really talk about and all. Like what Tony said about abortion being a good way to cater for any misunderstanding that might happen. But I don't agree with that. I totally disagree with that. But aside that, I feel like sex before marriage is the way to go. You understand? You know now. You have to. I don't really need to tell you about this because man, that is just the cocoa, like Divine said. So you have to know what you're getting into. You have to know the how your partner will react to certain scenarios that might occur during such. Because right now, most ladies in this present generation, because of most of them that were virgin when they got married, because of all those issues of not having sex before, then now when they're in the marriage, they feel like they want to test it outside after you've already gotten married. So I feel like before you get married, why not just do the needful? And we guys now are not we're no longer looking for virgins anymore. Come anyhow you want. Just we say we test, everybody test each other. Then we can even be doing referral ourselves. After I do this one, you do that one, then I will refer it to you. That's your spec. So basically, sex before marriage, my people. Sex before marriage. Thank you.